on the Spurs, and this was about Wemby. Just pick it up in the first quarter. The Spurs are down 2
When
here.
is it not about Wemby?
You're right about that. How about this? Just throw it up to the big man. Throw it up. He throws it down. He had 8 points, 2 rebounds at this point. We're not even midway through the first quarter.
It's just crazy. It's
Less than a minute later, Devin Vassell, he's going to miss. Wemby does not. Look at that, putting it up and tipping it in. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and rejecting shots. Look at Bucelis. And Wemby's like, get that shot out of here. Incredible block by him. Later in the second quarter, Spurs in transition. Look, Wemby had a double-double at this point. He had only played a little bit over 8 minutes.
I mean, they're playing the Bulls, but I feel you.
Great point. How about this step-back 3? The man's 7-5. Spurs are up 17 at the half. Let's get to the third quarter now. Stephon Castle. You know what? You throw it up to Wemby. He throws it down. Spurs are rolling. They're up by 16. And then they're halfway through the fourth. Another dunk by Wemby. He had 41 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks for Wemby. You know, you take a look at this. Wemby recorded his second game with 40 points, 15 rebounds this season. He's the only player with multiple games to do that this season. It was also his 4th career game with 40 points and 15 rebounds, tying Karl Anthony Towns for the second most such games before turning 23 over the last 50 seasons before, you know what, Shaq. Shaq had 9 of those kind of games. All right, let's talk about the MVP race. And how about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder taking on the Pistons? No Cade Cunningham. But you know what, SGA? Man of the people. Why did I say that? Yep, signing babies. Don't kiss the babies, just sign the babies, Monica McNutt.
That's funny.
SGA off the glass. You know, Thunder are up 8. SGA would hit that free throw here halfway through the second. Pull up 3. Got it. Thunder up by 10. Let's get to the fourth, though. This is where it got good. Pistons, Marcus Sasser to Javonte Green. That's good. Hey, the Pistons, now they lead by 1. 4 minutes to go. SGA driving the midi. Yep. Thunder down 3. Next possession, SGA, another mid-range. Thunder trail by 1 here, Monica. Later in the fourth.
Yeah, I remember.
How about Jalen Williams, though?
Come on now. I think that was his first 3, or it might have been his only 3 of the night.
Yep, we're tied up at 99. Then 10 seconds left. SGA creating. Look at that.
Look
they
at
call
it.
The offensive foul to been a game winner.
Look at it. And it wasn't. Psych your mind.
So he can't believe it. So now the Pistons have an opportunity to win it. 3 is no good, so we're going to overtime. In overtime, 4 minutes left. It's SGA doing what he does best. Getting to a spot, baseline jumper, it's good. Thunder lead by 2. Over a minute left in OT, Monica. SGA kicks it to Alex Caruso. By the way, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went in with 47. Thunder win at 114-110. Here's SGA after the game.
What do you think about the MVP race at this point?
I think it's good for the league. I think it's good chatter. It gives people something to talk about. There's a lot of good players in this league, and a lot of guys in the conversation because of that.
There's been chattering on behalf of other players. Would you like to chatter on behalf of yourself?
Nah, I'm good. Thanks for asking, though. But yeah, I'm good. I'll let my game do the talking.
I love it here.
Listen,
I love it.
SGA is still the odds-on favorite to take on his second consecutive MVP award at -300. Now, that's according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, Wemby's not too far off at +225 after being at 22-1 just basically a week ago. Okay, Wendy, I got to ask you, do you think SGA secured that MVP performance last night? Did he wrap it up, you think, with that performance?
I can't believe this is how I'm describing this because I'm not like one of these MVP heads. His case is airtight, Brian, but not locked down. Like he's been the favorite for months. If you look at the last 2 nights, he's had incredible clutch performances against the Knicks and the Pistons. two of the East's best teams. Granted, the Pistons were missing really key guys last night. There's no reason why we shouldn't declare him the winner. But Victor Wembanyama has been so impressive, and this race for the #1 seed is crackling. Both of these teams clearly want it. They're clearly playing their guys heavy minutes. And so I can't say anything negative about Shai's case, but I cannot tell you it's over.
You know, I think it was interesting as we look at that highlight, Monica. He gets called off for that offensive foul.
Yeah, he did.
In that game. But that's something he's been doing all season long.
Hold on now.
All season long, you know, he's used that. Is that an issue with the playoffs right around the corner?
It is definitely something that caught my attention. Here's why I'm looking at it, though, potentially. You got to acknowledge this Pistons squad that you were watching last night had no Cade, no Harris, no Durn, no Stewart, no Robinson. Those guys that were out there were so locked in defensively, and that call doesn't happen if J.B. Bickerstaff is not on the officiating crew and Amen Thompson, Ron Holland, Javon Carter are not playing some of the most sound defense you will see, right, to kind of get the officials sensitive to that. I don't know that this is going to be a problem in the postseason because I'm not sure how many teams are equipped to put on the straps the way that the Detroit Pistons were. And so, but this to me was a very pivotal moment. Sometimes you see the forearm, but the full extension, like he baptized my guy. He put him on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, I think that was more blatant than it typically is.
What do you think, Wendy? Because, you know, there have been coaches who've been complaining about this all season long.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, this is going to be a recurrent storyline throughout the postseason. The officials from October, and I know it drives every coach crazy, but from October, they have allowed Shai to have the armbar. By the way, they allow the whole league to have the armbar. And last night, he drew 16 fouls. Okay, he drew 16 fouls last night. He had 25 free throws. J.B. Bickerstaff almost needed resuscitation on the sideline. That said, the league has made it clear they're letting him use the armbar. The open push is not going to be allowed. When the last 2-minute report comes out today, this is going to be declared the correct call, is my prediction. And this is going to be a thing in the playoffs. I wish it wasn't. What Shai is doing is playing to the rules. It drives people crazy. The way he draws fouls are fouls. That's why they get called every night. The push-offs that he makes most of the time are deemed legal. We can discuss whether that should be the case, but that's the reality, and he's used it to his advantage, and he will continue to do so.
Yeah, I think there's one thing about having the arm bar. It's another thing.
The extension, yeah.
Extension.
The palm is where he got it last night. But again, like as I look at this, the standings, how many teams are equipped to play defense that garners that much respect, right? Like what you saw last night from that Pistons second unit, if you want to call it that, probably deeper into that. Like that was incredible effort and defense. I have so much respect for them because they had nobody on the floor in terms of who you expect to be contributing consistently. Now, this is the Rockets, or excuse me, the Thunder would face lower than this, whoever comes out of the play-in. But as I look at Phoenix, LA, Portland, and Golden State, like maybe Kawhi on his best day is going to cause you to really think about whether or not this is an illegal advantage for an offensive player. But I'm not alarmed in terms of like defenders when I look at that. Houston got a few pieces, but they're a little bit ahead of that position.
Okay, so the team then right behind them is the Spurs. And Wendy, I want to go back to you because we were talking about Wemby, and you were saying SGA may have locked it up with that performance. But, you know, he's only playing, I'm talking about Wemby, he's only playing about 29, 30 minutes a game. Do you think if he would increase the minutes, let's say play 38, maybe 40 minutes a game, what would that mean for the Spurs, especially a title run for them, if he played more minutes?
Brian, you're identifying one of the most important things in the NBA right now, Victor's minutes. It's actually being used against him by some MVP voters because he's played way fewer minutes, for example, than LeBron, who is ineligible for the MVP. But on the other hand, you have the ability to increase those minutes. Now, they have not done so on a regular basis. Having said that, when they've played top opponents like Boston, like Detroit a couple of weeks ago, they have pushed his minutes to 35, 37. Will they be able to push his minutes to 37, 38 minutes 5-6 times in the course of maybe 10 days? He's never done that in the NBA before, but there is more Victor can give. I don't know what the long-term effects would be, but there is more that Victor can do. And as you said a minute ago, he had a double-double last night in 8 minutes. So let's keep that in mind, what 8 more minutes would mean.
Can you imagine what this guy would be averaging if he was playing 38, 40 minutes a game? Do you see OKC and the Spurs on the collision course in the Western Conference Finals?
I do not have it as destination inevitable. It's probable, but I still think you've got a Nuggets team in there that could make it interesting. I wonder, and we have said it for 2 months now probably, Victor Wembanyama is the great equalizer in terms of this team not having experience. But I do want to see what it looks like because it's not just these players that don't have experience. Mitch Johnson, who should be a Coach of the Year candidate without doubt, it'll be his first rodeo in the head chair as well. Now, they've got a terrific staff, but there's a lot of newness about this. And typically, historically, the first rodeo is not the one where you get to the finals, but good gracious, golly.
They're playing well, and they've had OKC's numbers, obviously, during the regular season. All right, we'll talk more NBA a little bit later on here in the show, but this morning's wake-up call comes courtesy of the Big Dumper.